Welcome to Emma's English.
Hey English learners, welcome back to Emma's English Talk, your cozy little place to learn real everyday English through natural conversations. I'm Emma.
And I'm Tom.
How are you doing today, Tom?
I am doing well, Emma, but I had a slightly stressful morning walk today.
Oh no, really? What happened on your walk?
Well, I was walking in the park, listening to my favorite podcast, and suddenly one of my wireless earbuds popped out.
Popped out? You mean it suddenly fell out of your ear, right?
Yes, exactly. It just fell right out of my ear and onto the dirty ground.
Oh, that is the worst feeling ever.
It really is, especially because it almost rolled into a puddle of water.
That is a very close call, Tom.
It was indeed, and it made me think about how much we struggle with these little devices every single day.
I completely agree. Wireless earbuds are so convenient, but they cause a lot of small problems.
Yes, they do. And I think almost everyone who uses them has a funny or frustrating story to share.
Definitely. And that is actually a wonderful topic for us to talk about today.
I agree. It is a perfect topic because it is something we all experience.
Yes, we use them for music, for phone calls, and for watching videos.
But they are so small and so easy to lose.
Exactly. So today we are going to talk about the daily struggle of wireless earbuds.
This will be a great conversation for our listeners to learn some very natural English.
Yes, we will share our personal stories and talk about the funny situations we find ourselves in.
I have so many stories about this, Emma.
I do too, Tom. My ears are actually quite small, so I have a lot of trouble keeping them in.
That is a very common issue for many people.
It really is, and we will talk about all of these details today.
I am ready to jump into our main discussion.
Me too. Let us get started with our first thoughts on this.
Sounds great. Let us do it.
So, Tom, how often do your earbuds actually fall out?
Well, it feels like they fall out at least once a day, usually when I'm moving my head too fast.
That happens to me when I'm chewing food or laughing.
Really? Chewing food makes them fall out?
Yes, because my jaw moves and it pushes the earbud out of my ear.
That is so interesting. I never thought about that.
It is very annoying, especially if I am eating lunch outside.
I can imagine you have to be very careful not to lose them.
Yes, because it is so hard to keep track of them.
Keep track of. That means to know where they are or to monitor them, right?
Yes, exactly. It means to know where they are and not lose them.
It really is hard to keep track of them because they do not have any wires.
Exactly. With wired headphones, if one falls out, it just hangs on your shirt.
Yes, but with wireless ones, they just drop straight to the ground.
Or worse, they can fall into your food or coffee.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Has that ever happened to you?
Thankfully, no, but I have dropped one into a bowl of soup before.
No way. A bowl of soup?
Yes, it was a very warm bowl of tomato soup and it was quite messy.
That is hilarious, but also very sad.
It was. I had to clean it very carefully.
Did it still work after that?
Surprisingly, yes, it did.
You were very lucky, Emma, because soup can easily ruin electronics.
I know. I was so relieved when it turned on again.
My biggest fear is dropping one of them down a street drain.
Oh, that is a classic fear for everyone.
Yes, when I walk over those metal grates on the sidewalk, I always hold my ears.
Really? You actually hold your ears with your hands?
Yes, I do. I look very silly, but I do not want to risk it.
I do that too, especially when I am getting on or off a train.
Oh, the gap between the train and the platform is so dangerous.
It is like a black hole for small things.
Exactly. If an earbud falls down there, you can never get it back.
That would ruin my entire day.
Mine too. And those earbuds are not cheap.
No, they're actually quite expensive.
That is why losing one is so much worse than losing cheap wired headphones.
Yes, when you lose a wired pair, you can just buy another cheap one.
But with wireless ones, replacing just one earbud is a big headache.
Sometimes you have to buy a whole new set.
That is so true, which is why we must always keep track of where we put them.
I always try to put them back in their charging case immediately.
That is a good habit, but sometimes I am lazy and just put them in my pocket.
Oh, putting them in your pocket is very dangerous, Tom.
I know, because when I pull out my keys, the earbuds can easily fall out.
Yes, and you might not even hear them hit the ground if you are in a noisy place.
That actually happened to me at a shopping mall once.
Oh no, did you lose it forever?
No. Luckily, a kind person behind me saw it fall and tapped on my shoulder.
That was so nice of them.
Yes, I was very grateful because I was listening to music when I am on the go.
When you say on the go, you mean when you are traveling, walking, or moving around, right?
Yes, that is correct. It means when I am busy moving from place to place.
It is so common to listen to things when we are on the go.
Yes, it makes commuting or walking much more enjoyable.
But that is also when we are most likely to lose them.
Exactly, because we are distracted by our surroundings.
For example, when we are looking at street signs or crossing the road.
Yes, and sometimes we have to take one earbud out to talk to someone.
Oh, yes, like when you are buying a coffee or talking to a cashier.
What do you do with your earbud in that situation?
I usually just hold it in my hand, but then I forget I'm holding it.
Really? You forget it's in your hand?
Yes, and then I open my purse to get my wallet, and I drop the earbud.
That sounds like a classic Emma moment.
It really is. I'm a bit clumsy sometimes.
We all are, especially when we are trying to do multiple things at once.
That is why I sometimes wish we still used wired headphones more often.
Wired headphones definitely had some advantages.
Yes, they never needed to be charged.
That is a huge point. The battery life of wireless earbuds is another big struggle.
Oh, absolutely. There is nothing worse than when they die on you.
When you say die on you, you mean they suddenly stop working because the battery is empty, right?
Yes, exactly. The battery completely finishes and they turn off.
It always seems to happen at the most inconvenient times.
Yes, like when you are in the middle of a very long phone call.
Or when you are just starting a long workout at the gym.
Oh, yes. Working out without music is so difficult.
It makes the workout feel twice as long.
Exactly. You just hear the heavy breathing of other people.
That is not very motivating at all.
Not at all. And it always happens because I forget to charge the case.
Oh, yes. The charging case is another thing we have to worry about.
Exactly. We have to charge the earbuds, and we also have to charge the case.
It's double the work.
Yes, and sometimes the case is fully charged, but the earbuds inside are not.
Oh, that is so frustrating. Why does that happen?
Because sometimes the earbud doesn't touch the metal charging points inside the case correctly.
Oh, I hate that. You think they are charging all night, but they're actually empty.
Yes, you put them in your ears in the morning and you hear the low battery sound.
That little beep sound is so depressing.
It really is. It means you will have a very quiet commute.
I usually try to charge them at my desk at work.
That's a good solution, but only if you have a charging cable with you.
True, and if you don't have one, you're out of luck.
Yes, you just have to enjoy the silence.
Sometimes silence is good, but not when you want to listen to a podcast.
Exactly, especially when you are looking forward to a specific episode.
Yes, like Emma's English talk.
Of course, our listeners need their earbuds to be charged for our show.
We hope they are charged right now.
Yes, we do. But even if they are using speakers, we are happy they are here.
Definitely. But back to the battery issue, how long does your battery usually last?
My earbuds usually last about 4 hours on a single charge.
That's not bad, but it's not enough for a full day of work.
No, it's not, so I have to put them back in the case during my lunch break.
That is a smart way to manage the battery.
Yes, but sometimes I want to watch a video during lunch, so I can't charge them.
That is the ultimate dilemma.
It really is. You have to choose between entertainment now or battery life later.
I usually choose entertainment now and regret it later.
Me too, Tom. We never learn from our mistakes.
It's just too tempting to watch a funny video.
It really is. And then by 5 o'clock, the battery is completely gone.
Yes, and the walk home is very quiet.
It is, but at least we can hear the sounds of nature.
True, but in the city, the sounds of nature are just car horns and traffic.
That is very true. Not very peaceful at all.
I prefer my music or podcasts any day.
Me too. They really help me relax after a busy day.
So, do you ever use your earbuds in bed?
Oh, yes. I often listen to relaxing music or a meditation app before I go to sleep.
That sounds very nice, but do they stay in your ears all night?
No, never. I always wake up and find them scattered in my bed.
That sounds like a treasure hunt every morning.
It really is. Sometimes one is under my pillow and the other is at the bottom of the bed.
That is so funny. Do you ever worry about crushing them while you sleep?
Yes, I do. I'm always afraid I'll roll over and break them.
That would be a very expensive sleep.
Yes, it would. So I try to take them out before I actually fall asleep.
But that is hard to do if you are already half asleep.
Exactly. Usually I just drift off and forget about them.
It's a very common problem.
Yes, my sister actually lost one of her earbuds in her bedsheets for a whole week.
A whole week? How did she find it?
She only found it when she washed her sheets and it fell out of the blanket.
Oh wow, did it go through the washing machine?
Yes, it did. And unfortunately, that one did not survive.
Ah, that is too bad. Washing machines are definitely the enemy of earbuds.
Yes, they are not designed to swim in hot soapy water.
No, they are definitely not.
So she had to buy a completely new pair.
That is a very sad story, but a good lesson for all of us.
Yes, always check your bedsheets before you wash them.
I will definitely remember that.
Good, because I don't want you to lose yours, Tom.
Thank you, Emma. I will be very careful.
We should also talk about how dirty they can get.
Oh yes, that is a bit of a sensitive topic, but very real.
It is, because they are inside our ears, so they collect dust and other things.
Yes, and if you don't clean them regularly, they look very unpleasant.
Exactly, and it can also affect the sound quality.
Really? How does it affect the sound?
Well, if the tiny speaker holes are blocked, the sound becomes very quiet.
Ah, that makes sense. So you might think the battery is low, but they're just dirty.
Yes, or you might think they are broken.
How do you clean yours, Emma?
I use a soft, dry cloth and sometimes a small wooden toothpick to clean the edges.
That sounds like a very delicate job.
It is. You have to be very gentle so you don't damage the speaker.
I usually use a cotton swab, but I must be careful not to push anything inside.
Yes, that is very important.
It's amazing how much maintenance these tiny things require.
It really is. They are high-maintenance devices.
Yes, unlike the old wired ones that you could just throw in your bag and forget.
Exactly. Those wires were tough.
They were. Even if they got tangled, they still worked perfectly.
Yes, untangling wires was a struggle, but at least we didn't lose them.
That's true. We traded one struggle for another.
We really did. We traded the wire struggle for the battery and losing struggle.
I think I still prefer the wireless struggle, though.
Me too. The freedom of not having wires attached to my phone is amazing.
Yes, you can leave your phone on the table and walk around the room.
Exactly. You can clean the house or cook while listening to something.
That is so convenient.
It is, until you walk too far and the connection starts to break up.
Ah, yes, that static sound when you're out of range is very annoying.
Yes, it sounds like a robot whispering in your ear.
That is a very good description.
But overall, they are still a wonderful invention.
They are, and they make our lives much more interesting.
Absolutely.
You know, Emma, another thing about wireless earbuds is that they come in so many different shapes and sizes now.
Yes, that is true, but it can be very difficult to find the perfect fit.
I agree, because everyone has different ears.
Exactly. Some earbuds have those little silicone tips and some are just hard plastic.
Which type do you prefer, Emma?
I prefer the ones with silicone tips because they feel more secure.
Really? I actually prefer the hard plastic ones, because the silicone ones make my ears feel blocked.
I understand that, but for me, the hard plastic ones just slide right out.
That is so funny. It is completely opposite for me.
It just shows that there is no single design that works for everyone.
Yes, and that is why some companies include different sizes of silicone tips in the box.
Yes, the small, medium, and large tips.
I always lose those extra tips before I can even use them.
Tom, you really need to be more organized.
I know, I am trying, but those little plastic bags are so easy to misplace.
You should keep them in a special drawer.
I have a drawer for electronics, but it is a bit of a mess right now.
I think many of our listeners can relate to having a messy electronics drawer.
Yes, full of old cables and chargers that we do not use anymore.
Exactly, but we keep them just in case we need them in the future.
Yes, the classic just-in-case excuse.
We all do it, Tom.
But back to the earbuds. Another struggle is when you only want to use one earbud.
Oh, yes, like when you want to listen to a podcast but still hear what is happening around you.
Exactly, like when you are walking your busy streets.
Or when you're at the office and your boss might call your name.
Yes, but sometimes the earbuds do not like that.
What do you mean?
Well, with some models, if you put one earbud back in the case, the music stops completely on the other one.
Oh, yes, they are connected to each other, so they both have to be out.
That is so annoying. You have to go into your phone settings to make it play through just one.
It is. It takes away the convenience of the device.
Exactly, and sometimes the touch controls on the side of the earbuds are too sensitive.
Oh, do not get me started on the touch controls.
Why? Do you have trouble with them?
Yes, every time I try to adjust the earbud in my ear, I accidentally pause the music.
Or you skip to the next song by accident.
Yes, or even worse, it calls the last person I spoke to on my phone.
Oh no, that is the worst, especially if it's late at night.
Yes, I accidentally called my dentist at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night once.
No way, that is so embarrassing.
It was. I had to hang up quickly and pretend it was a mistake.
Did they call you back?
Fortunately, no, they did not, but I was so nervous.
That is why I prefer physical buttons on earbuds instead of touch sensors.
I agree. With a real button, you have to actually press it, so there are no accidental touches.
Exactly, it's much more reliable.
But many modern earbuds are removing physical buttons to make them look sleek.
Yes, they want them to look like little pieces of art in your ears.
But sometimes we need function over fashion.
That is a very good point, Emma. Sometimes simple is better.
Definitely. And speaking of simple, do you remember the big headphones that go over your ears?
Oh, yes, the over-ear headphones.
I see more and more people wearing those again lately.
Yes, they are becoming very trendy again, especially with younger people.
I think people like them because they're comfortable and have great sound quality.
And they are much harder to lose.
That is very true. You cannot easily drop an over-ear headphone down a drain.
No, and people can clearly see that you are wearing them, so they do not try to talk to you.
That is a very funny benefit. Sometimes we wear headphones just to avoid talking to people.
Yes, it is a universal sign for please do not disturb me.
Exactly, but with tiny wireless earbuds, people often do not see them.
Yes, because they are hidden by our hair or are just too small.
So people will start talking to you and you have to pull an earbud out and say, "Sorry, what did you say?"
That happens to me at the grocery store all the time.
It is. It's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yes, because you feel rude for having something in your ears, but you just wanted to listen to some music while shopping.
Exactly. It's not personal. We just want our own soundtrack for our daily chores.
Yes, shopping for groceries is much more fun with a good beat.
I completely agree. It turns a boring chore into a little party.
But then you have to interact with the cashier, and the music has to stop.
Yes, and that's when you have to fumble with the earbuds.
Fumble, that means to handle something clumsily, right?
Yes, to fumble means to struggle to hold or find something with your hands.
That is perfect for it. We fumble around trying to take them out quickly.
Yes, and that is often when we drop them on the supermarket floor.
And then they roll under the shelves.
Oh, that is a nightmare. Trying to reach under a dusty shelf in public?
Yes, you have to get down on your knees and look under there.
It is very bad for our clothes and our pride.
It really is. I would be so embarrassed.
Me too, Tom, but we do what we must to save our expensive earbuds.
Absolutely. We cannot just leave them there.
No way. We must rescue them.
So, Emma, do you think wireless earbuds will get better in the future?
I think so. The battery life is already getting better with every new model.
Yes, and some of them now have tracking features like a Find My Earbud app.
Oh, that is a very useful feature.
Yes, it makes a loud sound so you can find them in your room.
That would save me so much time in the morning.
Me too, especially when they're lost in the sofa cushions.
Yes, the sofa cushions are another place that loves to eat small electronics.
It's like a second junk drawer.
It really is. You can find coins, pens, and earbuds in there.
Maybe we should check our sofas after this recording.
That is a very good idea, Tom. We might find some lost treasure.
I hope so. I am always missing something.
We all are, but that's just part of modern life.
It is. We have so many small gadgets to take care of now.
Yes, and we have to remember to charge all of them.
It's a full-time job.
It feels like it sometimes.
But we love our gadgets.
We do. We cannot live without them.
That is very true.
You know, Tom, thinking about our daily struggles with these tiny devices reminded me of some really useful natural phrases we used in our conversation today.
Oh, yes. We used some great expressions that are very common in everyday English.
Exactly, and I want to make sure our listeners can use them confidently.
That is a great idea. Let us talk about a few of them.
The first phrase I want to focus on is slip my mind.
Oh, that is a wonderful idiom. It is very natural.
Yes, I used it when I said I wanted to charge my earbuds, but it completely slipped my mind.
And as we explained earlier, slip my mind simply means to forget something.
Exactly, but it sounds much more natural than just saying, I forgot.
Yes, native speakers use it all the time for small things we forget to do.
For example, you can say, I meant to buy milk, but it slipped my mind.
Or, I was going to call you back, but it completely slipped my mind.
Yes, it is very polite and sounds very soft.
It is a great phrase to practice. Let us practice another one.
What about the phrase run out?
Run out is a very common phrasal verb.
Yes, we used it when we talked about the battery running out.
And that means there is none of it left. It is completely finished.
Exactly. We use it for battery power, but we also use it for many other things.
Yes, like food or time.
Right. You can say, we are running out of time, so we must hurry.
Or, we ran out of coffee this morning, so I had to go to a cafe.
That is a real tragedy. Running out of coffee is very serious.
It is, indeed. It is a true emergency for me.
Me too, Tom. We need our coffee.
We really do.
So, run out is very useful because you can use it in past tense as ran out or present continuous as running out.
That is a very good grammar point, Emma.
Thank you. I think it is important for our listeners to know how to change the form of these phrasal verbs.
Yes, it makes their English sound much more fluent.
Exactly. And what about the phrase on the go?
On the go is another excellent one. It describes our busy lifestyle.
Yes, we use it when we are traveling or moving from place to place.
For example, I often eat breakfast on the go because I do not have time to sit down.
Or I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm on the go.
It really shows that you are active and moving.
Yes, it is a very positive and common phrase.
I think our listeners can start using these three phrases right away in their daily lives.
I think so too. They are very simple, but they make a huge difference in how natural your English sounds.
Definitely. It's all about those small, natural expressions.
Yes, and practicing them is the best way to remember them.
I agree. Practice makes perfect.
It really does.
Speaking of practicing and remembering new words, Emma, did you know we have a complete written script available for our listeners?
Oh yes, Tom. That is a great reminder for everyone.
Yes, if you want to read along with our conversation, you can download the free PDF script.
It is completely free, and the link is in the description of this video.
It is also pinned in the comments section below, so it is very easy to find.
Reading the script while listening is a fantastic way to improve your English.
Yes, it helps you connect the spoken sound with the written word.
And you can also use it to practice shadowing, which is repeating what we say to improve your pronunciation.
Shadowing is a very powerful technique. I highly recommend it.
Me too. And if you enjoy studying with us, please make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Yes, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell.
That way, you will never miss a new episode of Emma's English Talk.
And please give this video a like if you found it helpful.
It really helps our channel grow and allows us to make more free lessons for English learners everywhere.
We love creating these lessons for you.
We really do. Thank you so much for your support.
It means the world to us.
It does indeed.
All right, and speaking of reviewing what we have learned today, before we say goodbye, let us do a quick review of the 6 key vocabulary expressions we used in our chat.
Yes, a quick recap is always helpful to lock those new words in our memory.
Let us start with the first one, which was pop out.
Right, pop out means to suddenly fall or come out of a small space.
Like when my earbud popped out of my ear and fell onto the ground.
Yes, or you can say the cork popped out of the bottle.
That is a very clear example.
The second expression was keep track of.
And keep track of means to know where something is or to monitor it carefully.
Exactly. For example, it is hard to keep track of your keys if you do not have a specific place for them.
Or I need to keep track of how much money I spend this week.
That is a very wise habit, Tom.
I try my best, Emma.
The third expression was on the go.
And on the go means while you are traveling, walking, or moving from place to place.
Yes, like eating a sandwich on the go or listening to a podcast when you are on the go.
It is a very useful phrase for busy people.
The fourth expression was die on someone.
This one is very natural. It means when a device or battery suddenly stops working.
Yes, like when my wireless earbuds died on me during my walk.
Or my laptop died on me right before I could save my work.
Oh, that is a true nightmare. I hate when that happens.
Me too. It is very stressful.
The fifth expression was slip my mind.
And slip my mind means to completely forget about something.
Yes, like when I wanted to buy groceries, but it completely slipped my mind.
Or, I forgot your birthday. It completely slipped my mind. I'm so sorry.
You better not forget my birthday, Tom.
I promise I won't, Emma. It was just an example.
Good, I'm watching you.
And the sixth and final expression was run out.
Yes, run out means to finish or use up all of something so that nothing is left.
Like when the battery runs out, or we run out of milk.
Yes, when there is 0 left.
Those are 6 fantastic, highly useful expressions for everyday life.
They really are, and we hope our listeners enjoyed learning them today.
Yes, we hope you can practice using them in your own English conversations.
What about you guys? Do you prefer wireless earbuds or wired headphones? Have you ever lost one of your earbuds? Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, we really want to read your answers, so please leave a comment.
Thank you so much for studying with us today.
See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep practicing.